Kamaru Usman minus 240, Leon Edwards plus 200. Kamaru Usman was 15-0 to start his UFC career. He was making his 6th welterweight title defense when these two met for that second time at UFC 278 last August. He was moments away from breaking that Anderson Silva record and everything else, and we all know what happened thereafter. Now Edwards, the champion, making the first defense of his title here at the O2, about 3 hours from Birmingham, England. Kamaru Usman, Leon Edwards. Who wins it?
This is a tougher fight for me to pick in a lot of ways than Fiziev Gaethje. Usman has a style that will always give a guy like Leon Edwards trouble. I think that if there's one guy who can come back from a devastating knockout in round 5, it is Kamaru Usman. I don't think he's going to have all those doubts that I think a lot of other fighters would have, or that hesitancy that I think a lot of other fighters have. Usman is a champion for a reason. He has that champion mindset. Whether he wins or loses, he's always going to have that mindset, and he will always have my respect as one of the greatest welterweights to ever do it. I think his wrestling is a big time problem. His ability to grind and win rounds is a problem. He has a very educated jab. But he doesn't have that potency of a submission game, or I don't think, not against someone like Edwards, where he's got a striking game that is going to be that difficult for Edwards to figure out. I think Edwards is an extremely technical fighter in all assets and all aspects. I think he is a very slick striker who can get Usman to throw and miss and counter. I think Edwards is going to have a renewed sense of confidence coming off of this win over Kamaru Usman. I think that he had a great start to that fight against Kamaru Usman. And I think, it being at high altitude, I think it favors Leon Edwards. The fact that it's not at high altitude anymore, because Kamaru Usman, again, correct me if I'm wrong, he was, training at high altitude in Denver, also in Utah as well for a bit. So I think that I don't know. Edwards had a lot of disadvantages heading into that fight. The travel, he's got his hometown there. I think his preparation has been on point for this one. And I am going with Leon Edwards to win this fight. Again, it's not an easy pick for me. I would not be surprised to see Kamaru win this one, but I think we have a different guy after this fight in Leon Edwards. I think he's got a certain something, let's put it this way, winning in that fashion, the way that he did, and it being in the UK, I like Leon here.
Very interesting. Brian Petrie, you will have the final word. Kamaru Usman minus 240. Leon Edwards plus 200 right now on DraftKings Sportsbook. Who wins the welterweight championship of the world?
So it's hard enough following Kenny, let alone Gaethje, and then now he's picking Leon Edwards. I'm sitting here going, oh, it's an easy fight for me to pick. He goes, yeah, well, I'm picking the underdog Gaethje. Take a big old dump on BP here. I love it. I fucking love it. Listen, I'm a Kamaru Usman guy. I have been since day one. I love the guy. I don't know why he gets so much shit. People say he's corny. I kind of know he talks like an R&B guy sometimes. He's got his little Usher thing going on, and people are like, yeah, he's corny. I love his mindset, his mental, his skill. Well, I judge what I see in the cage. And he's got swagger for days. I mean, the guy knows how to put an outfit together. Let's just put, you know what I mean?
No doubt.
But the first fight obviously was they both were young in the career. Wrestling happened. Second fight, Leon got that takedown, got mount, won the first round. Very interesting there. Leon had relied, after the Kamaru fight, had relied on wrestling a lot of his fights. We saw a lot more grappling out of him. And then, 2 through 4, Usman shut him down. And then cardio obviously is king. No one faded, right? Even though Edwards was dejected because I felt like he felt flat that night, his cardio was still there. I mean, if you were dead cardio, you're not throwing that high kick the way he threw it, right? And this is interesting. I've always backed Usman. I've always won money on Usman, right? I have. I bet every single one of his fights, blindly take Usman. I like the guy. This is throwing up some trepidation for me. This is a big pause for me, because Leon Edwards is a lot better than I gave him credit for the first fight. The first fight, in my own personal life, max bet Usman. And, that 5th round knockout, the only thing that saved it was John. To me, I lost a couple $100, but John's beautiful call, which is one of the best calls ever, saved it for me, because I'm like, oh, this is special. And then obviously Leon's post-fight headshot bang dead is amazing. Listen, Kenny broke it down perfectly technically. I can't do that. I can't do what Ken Flo does. I'm just going to go with my gut. and my gut says this could be a lot closer fight, but I think when you get a close fight like that, I'm going to lean on wrestling, and I'm going to lean on the guy who's proven that he can go 5 rounds throwing over 100 strikes. He threw 83 in the first Leon fight. I think he needs to double that up. He looked really good in the clinches. That's where he did his best work, body work, elbows when Leon was against the cage. And Leon's going to come out like a bat out of hell in front of his hometown crowd. But I love the way Usman's carrying himself. I love the mental. I love everything he's saying. He handled that loss better than anybody I know. You know what I mean? Or in MMA.
Yeah.
Such class. And I'm going to go with Usman, but I'm excited. The line's a little wide. I thought we were going to get a way better number for sure. So I am a little unsure about the line, but I'm going to take Usman.